Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Traditions. My name is Jay. I'm the chef at Social on State. It's 201 State Street, downtown Binghamton. If anybody hasn't been there yet, get down there to try it out. Tonight, I'm going to do two lobster dishes. One's called the Angry Lobster. It's a spicy pasta dish, and the other one is a version of a caprese salad called a lobster caprese. They're both available at Social. I'm getting fresh lobsters in every week. I do all this stuff at the restaurant, so I'm trying to just not change it all so you get an authentic view of what it's like. When I was a kid growing up, every single special occasion we ever had, my family would get lobsters and we would race them around the kitchen floor. And for some reason, I never even thought of it as a pet. I was like, I want to eat that one. And I guess this played out later on in life a little bit. It wasn't a completely opulent lifestyle. I did have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but so I'm just going to start out. I'm going to try to do, I think, both dishes at once, just to save on time. So first dish, lobster caprese. I plated one right here just so you guys can see. It's homemade pesto. This one that I made this week is with ramps. So they're fresh, like only available in a couple weeks in the spring. We've got our lobster. I got some assorted tomatoes. I bought these at Wegmans, so you guys can all buy them too. This one's called the Flavorful Medley, if you want. We have fresh basil. I put some little crostini on the bottom for crunch and a little balsamic. So main ingredients of a caprese salad are mozzarella, basil, tomatoes, balsamic. I tried to amp it up a little bit, and I got fresh burrata here. So fresh burrata is fresh mozzarella on the outside, but when you cut into the middle of it, it has cream and soft cheese on the inside, almost like ricotta cheese. Yeah. So it kind of makes it look a little messier as opposed to just the slices of mozzarella, but this makes it taste better. So you get your bowl. You start out with your fresh tomatoes. We're going to use a little lemon juice. I've got fresh squeezed here. To save on time at the restaurant, I always have squeeze bottles, so you get to see both sides of it. Fresh lemon, salt and pepper, your mozzarella, and your lobsters. I bought these today. I cooked them at the restaurant, brought them here because I was thinking maybe I would cook them here, but it's like, I don't know, I can never, nothing's ever enough for me. I have to do two dishes. I have to, I have to bring, so try to make my own life difficult. Just some fresh basil in there. And then your lobster claws and tails. While I'm getting that plated up, I'm going to turn on my burner over here. We're going to start the Angry Lobster. The reason it's called the Angry Lobster is because it has a lot of spicy chilies in it. And you can make it obviously as spicy as you like when you're at home. The main base of it is a lobster stock. So you take all of the shells. I'm sure there's a shortcut for this. You could buy like lobster base or something, but at the restaurant I take all the lobster shells, everything, cook it down with water, a little bit of white wine, and you get this lovely colored liquid right here. And that's the base of your sauce. So I'm just going to get this plated up real quick, and then we'll start that.
How long do you simmer the stock?
All day.
Do you put like
All day, all day.
beans in there too?
Yeah, whatever we have at the restaurant. I mean, at home, obviously, I would use like a traditional mirepoix, which is carrots, onions, celery, any kind of herbs you have. And just let it cook down all day. That's pretty much the key to it. All right. So I'm going to start over here with a little bit of white wine. A lot of white wine. There's a lot of people in here. It's fine. Sorry, lobster stock. I wouldn't use the whole bottle at home. It's half for you, half for the sauce. All right, so it's called sambal. It's called chili garlic paste. You can find it in like the Asian section of Wegmans or wherever you guys shop. I exclusively shop at Wegmans, so. Yeah. Oh, and Maine's, sorry. For my personal life. At the restaurant. That was good. That was good. All right, so. So I'd say about 1 tablespoon per person if you can handle spice. So if you're gonna make it for 4 people, a big batch, I would say use 4 tablespoons. That's probably what I'm gonna do right here. Although there's a lot more than 4 people here. So last year when we did this, it was outside in the tent. It was 180 degrees. And when I started, within the first 10 minutes of me going on, I blew the power. This camera went out, there was no power. At some point, I think I ran out of gas on the burner. It was a comedy of errors, so I think we're doing a lot better this year. It's a temperate environment. Did I speak too soon? Maybe I spoke too soon. All right, so we got our stock, our white wine, our chili garlic paste, lots more basil and tomatoes. I'm trying to use all the same ingredients just to see if you can use them a multitude of ways.
So do you cook down the stock a lot, or is the body that is in the dish all
Secret ingredient. This is butter. Except I mixed it with garlic and parsley, so I made it even better. So this is kind of like your finish. Once you get your pasta cooked, start bringing it down. You add a little bit of this garlic butter. It could be just, you could just add garlic and butter separately. It's just at the restaurant for ease of timing. You know, everything's like seconds. Like I don't have time to cook garlic in a pan and then add butter and then you know. Table 7 needs their food. Let's go, you know. So everything has to be kind of, for me at least. We'll get to the butter later though, Shelby. All right, tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes. So it's Asian style based on the fact that we're using the chili paste, we're using a lot of basil, we're using a lot of lemon juice. But what brings it back to being Italian, like me, is I'm using angel hair pasta instead of, you could use rice noodles, you could use any number of things. You could use ramen. It's kind of like my version of like a ramen dish actually. So we're adding lots of lemon juice, tomatoes. Hopefully that'll come up to a boil at some point. And I'm just going to start plating up a little bit of this caprese for you guys to try. Also, I've got some microgreens here. They're from Nanico Gardens. They have a table out there for you guys to see. It's micro basil and micro amaranth. So obviously to play off the basil that's in both dishes, you don't want to just randomly grab a random microgreen. So it all works together. Do you want to help me? Yeah. Maybe? All right, plates are going out. Okay, so my pesto is a pretty simple recipe. I think Rick Dodd made one last year. I use Marcona almonds, Romano cheese, fresh spinach, fresh basil. This one I used ramps instead of basil, so it's kind of a little bit of a different flavor. And I grilled the ramps first, so you get a little bit of a smoke. It's where I tried it, and the first time I tried it, it had like 4 different, like you taste the ramp in the beginning, then you taste like the earthy, and then it just gets salty, and then it's crazy. It was wild for me even to try this, so hopefully you guys like it. So I'm just gonna put down a little bit of pesto for everyone to try. Do we have any idea how many people we have here? We'll just keep going. 45, well I got 100 plates. And also, once I finish the Angry Lobster, we're gonna be sampling one of these beers. Oh, maybe. Minus the cups. From Food and Fire, and
Okay, well, I am Dan from Food and Fire. I don't have a mic, but I have no problem talking loud, as my employees will confirm. I was able to do a demo a couple of years ago when we were up here. This time we wanted to highlight the fact that craft beers pair really well with good food. And when we built the concept for Food and Fire, we built it on that concept that barbecue and good food should be paired with good beer, just the way we traditionally think of wine. So working with Chef Jay, we talked about what would pair well with his food, and especially with the Angry Lobster, because hops and a nice hoppy profile are a classic pairing with a spicy food. We picked Mosaic IPA from Founders, so we'll be giving tastes of that away. It'll go really, really nicely. You'll notice the hops are what give a beer that floral, some people say it's dank, floral, perfumey kind of a finish. And the hops cuts through and just pairs nicely with any really spicy dish, so I think it'll go really well. How's our stock doing over there?
all right. So the other thing that I do with my pasta dishes is anytime I'm cooking pasta in like a broth like this, I cook the pasta right in the broth. I don't cook the pasta in water and then add it to the sauce later. It just helps flavor it through right from the inside out. That's why you normally when you're cooking pasta, you salt the water. It's the only opportunity to actually flavor the inside of the pasta as opposed to just putting a sauce on the outside. What do we do? I've got more, but we'll get there. Should we pass these out now? We'll just let people come up at the end. It's fine. All right, over here, got my angel hair. It's cooked super fast. Try to break it. It's all right. We started saving all of the pasta ends for one of my owners. Has a 2-year-old, and every time he saw me, I would break the pasta because it wouldn't fit in the pan that I was cooking in. I would take it, I'd break the end off, and I'd throw it in the garbage. And he's watching me, and he's like, "The heck are you doing with all that extra pasta?" You know? He's like, "I'll give it to my kids." So he takes it home and makes mac and cheese at home with all my little end pieces like this. So no waste in the restaurant. Does anybody have any questions while we wait for this to cook a little bit?
Where did you get your ramps?
I have a friend, Damien, so he does like local honey. He makes his own knives. He's like one of these, he quit his job. He used to work at Lampe's. So he's a chef at Lampe's, just decided, I don't want to do it anymore, quit his job, and he's just incredible. So he goes out and like finds wild foraged mushrooms and ramps, and he's like, "I got this," and he just comes to the restaurant, here's $20, and it's like yeah. Anybody else? Printout recipe? I am not. But if you have questions, I mean, I did last year. I did a duck breast, and they asked me to come up and kind of do something that was easy that people could do at home. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to do that. So I did a seared duck breast with a poached egg, and I just purposely made it as hard as possible because there's something to say, like when you go to a restaurant, you get a plate of food in front of you, you don't really have a concept of what went into it, just, all right, this plate of food right here, like it looks like, just put it in your mouth, eat it, but somebody woke up in the morning, somebody picked those ramps, somebody made a pesto, somebody, so there's so much more to it than just eating the dish. And I want you to know there's a reason why you go to restaurants, There's a reason that you pay me to cook for you. Because you don't want to do all of this, But if you did, and you had a nice day off on a Sunday, and you didn't want to come here and watch, and you had the time to do all this, I mean, it's rewarding, is what it is. It's rewarding to take something and create something completely delicious out of it. So
you make out of your own recipes as you go along?
So the caprese is like my mom's thing, you know, when we had family companies coming over, it's like, oh, we gotta make the caprese salad, you know? So I was like, how am I gonna make this better, you know? Lobster, duh. So it just kind of, it's all related to something in my childhood at some point. Oh, it's called burrata. B-U-R-R-A-T-A? Double R, double T? I should know that.
Well, that's why we have Shelby here, right?
Yeah. It's you can purchase burrata. It's kind of making its way into Binghamton now, so it's around. All right, so the pasta's almost there. I'm gonna add some butter. Other restaurant secrets. Things you won't do at home is put 2 humongous scoops of butter into your food. But that's what makes it taste good. My friend the other day asked me what he can do to make his burgers better. Because he's like, I try burgers, and I try your burgers, they're not as good, I don't understand what I said. Double the amount of salt that you use. That was my answer. I mean, get good meat, and then when you think you've added enough salt and pepper, add more. Because, I mean, obviously there's a line where you've gone too far, but it's a little at a time. You know, I made cheese sauce for Mac and Cheese Fest or whatever, and I tasted it, I'm like, it's all right, it's good. Add a little more salt. All right, it's really good. All right, add a little more salt. Done, now we're there, you know? So it's kind of, you have to taste your food. That's part of cooking, is tasting as you go, and seasoning. Lots of lemon juice, lots of olive oil, lots of salt, lots of pepper. Just start with good ingredients and go from there. All right, I think we're almost there. Any other questions? Yeah.
How much butter do you put in?
In this one, I just put about 4 tablespoons, I would say. But if you're gonna make it at home, probably just a tablespoon would be good, I would think.
Excuse me, did you make that pesto?
I did.
What was the nut?
Marcona almonds, they're from Spain. Just because I'm fancy like that, you know. You could use almonds, you can use any kind of nut actually. But I spent $130 on a bucket of Marcona almonds, so we gotta use them. I use them we have a cheese plate at Social. Like, so we change cheeses all the time with different nuts and compotes and stuff like that. So just trying to just get the best, you know. It's like, if you get the best ingredients and you don't screw with it too much, you usually come up with something pretty good. So, all right, so I'm gonna start plating up this. He's trying out the beers here. And I think that's it. If anybody else has any questions, let me know before I start plating. No? How's my time?
I don't have one.
5:55. I got 5 more minutes of babbling. All right, yeah, so just come on up and grab a Angry Lobster and a pasta.